And welcome back inside the Schaefer Center. Halftime score 36-26. John, look at some of the stats here. St. Gregory's dominating throughout the stat category, not just in the points, but in rebounds and in field goal percentage, and just really out hustling. As you see, the assist, three more, 8-5. Steals, pretty close. The Lions doing what they do. 2 blocks to 1 compared to the Lions. Team fouls, just 4 for the Cavaliers. Looking really good first half. Talk about the key player, though, in Marcarius Bodie.
Well, Marcarius Bodie is just shooting the ball well. That's the end of that story.
Yeah.
Um, he does hustle. He's gotten his hand on some loose balls, so he definitely deserves to be out there. Just beyond being a good shooter, but I think it all points back to Wilkerson and Wilkerson's play. He sets the bar very high, and um, he will keep people, his teammates. He will keep them uh, striving for that higher place to be, and that's a man. What an asset as a coach. You gotta love having players to coach like that.
Marcarius Bodie, nearly a perfect first half. 4 of 5 from the field, including 3 of 3 from three-point land. We have him as 2 free throws. Stats say 4 for 4, but either way, he is perfect from the line and perfect from three-point line, the three-point land. So he's got 13 on the game. Behind him, Marty Wilkerson with 9. A lot of balanced rebounds. You've got Vieira with 4, Wilkerson with 4, Shields with 4 for the Cavaliers. Meanwhile, the Lions leading scorers, both with 5. Marcus Price getting his first start, and the senior Jonathan Walter. Rebounds, Emmanuel Adoy's got 4, and Jason Gentry, the guard, has got 4 as well. Shooting percentages have to go up, John, for the Lions if they want to win this game. They're down in percentage-wise, 46% to 30%. You look at some of the percentages, and that's just not going to cut it. Here's some of the highlights from the first half of play. There's the wild shot from Gentry. And how about the play from Marcarius Bodie, just draining threes. 3 in a row to get things started for the Cavaliers. Mitchell playing well inside as well. So second half rolls around. What did Donnie Bostwick tell his team? What are two or three things he told them in the locker room they'll have to do to make adjustments to climb out of this hole, John?
Well, obviously, he's going to preach the same message that he always preaches: is hard work will pay off. So he will not let anyone play that's not going to just give 110%. As cliche as that sounds, it's a very big reality on this team. So you're going to see SAGU come out and play as hard as they can play. Now, they have to convert the baskets, but he's a firm believer that those things will follow. Hard work first, and the points will follow. So, and who are we or anybody else to fight his theory on that? Because he's the one that sits with an 80% win percentage as a coach. I think he's earned the right to say he knows what he's doing. Um, so he carries that kind of momentum into the locker room. The players respect that because he knows how to win. So they listen to what he's got to say.
5 players have already logged more than 13 minutes of play for Coach Bostwick. And the subs are averaging about 4 or 5 minutes of play. So we've seen games where it's a lot even more balanced than that. In this game, the starters are giving most of the minutes, but they are getting also enough rest and enough keep themselves honest that Bostwick will pull you if you're not doing your share. So we'll see what Bostwick has up his sleeve as these tough Cavaliers, led by a Player of the Year candidate in Marty
Wilkerson.
Wilkerson, are set to make it 2 for 2 as the Lady Cavaliers won game 1 tonight. And Cavaliers off to a good start here. We're ready for a second half of play as the players take the court.
Well, one thing we know for sure is that it's going to be exciting. It'll be an exciting half of play, and this is not going to be a blowout. It won't be a repeat of the first half, a 20-point win, because uh, the Lions are just too scrappy. They don't like to lose. They're not used to losing. So they're going to claw their way back into this game, and it'll come down to the wire.
As you see President Bridges holding his breath in his typical spot up top, left of the stadium of seats here at the Schaefer Center. We are back underway in second half play of game 2. Cavaliers up 10. Let's see what the Lions come up with. They'll come out with a 2-3 defense. An extended zone and a trap as well. That zone trap working inside. And we'll see if they can get a stop here. First ball, 3 ball, and it's nothing but the bottom of it and a whistle to
And
boot. Jaron
one.
Vieira. Wow.
3
That's
plus
not
1.
how you want to start the second half of play if you're Coach Donnie Bostwick. And even posing in front of his own bench is Vieira, who will go to the line looking for point number 6 on the night. 6'7" senior from Georgetown, Texas, converts the 4-point play. And just like that, the Lions are down 14. Here comes Gentry. Walter now shadowed by 2 defenders. Marcus Price in trouble. Inside to Walter, got away with the travel and lays it up and in. Jonathan Walter.
The fearless one.
Cuts the lead back to 12. Lions show that quick 2-3 defense. And they move fast. They will descend on that pass in a big hurry. Trey Jones works it over to Marty Wilkerson. Into the corner, another 3 ball. Vieira feeling it in and out though. Good release, good look. He is going to fire up a lot more of those tonight if he sees an open look. Walter pump fakes to 3. Looks inside, back over to Alexander. Stutter step fake over to Gentry. Had Marcus Price inside, let him go. Now looking inside. Instead it'll be Gentry. Stops and pops from the elbow. Looked inside and shook it off and drains the 15-footer. Lead back to 10. High screen pick. Around the left side. Want to see if Marty can get on track again. Strong inside move. Somehow a Cavalier came down with that ball. And that was Dylan Lemley with an offensive board that kind of landed in his lap, John.
Well, that's his thing. That's what he's in there to do is get the loose balls, get a little bit of the garbage that is more of a 50-50.
I love that no call by the ref. Scrappy play, but then Walter turns it right back over. Marty for 3 off the mark. Reset again. Gentry pulls that one down. He'll take it up himself this time. Alexander, a no-look pass to Doy. Gets it back out to Gentry. Reset to Alexander. Doy could have taken that, spun and gone. Elected to give it back to Gentry. Trying to be patient. There's Marcus Price on the left block. Gets it into him. Does Walter. Back out to a wide open Gentry for 3. No. Good off the front edge of the rim. Meanwhile, Walter gets the whistle. He'll go to the line. What patience. What precision. And then what a soft release over the top of his head. The ball never left below his shoulders. Love that play.
That's just the heads-up play we have grown to expect from Jonathan Walter.
Money. It's money, and he converts a 3-point play, cuts the lead back to 7. 17:08 remaining.
Well, I talked to Jonathan a little bit earlier this week, and he was excited about this game. He had a great game against them the last time they matched up here, and he just likes playing against this team. This is one of those teams that brings the best out in you.
Marcus Price trying to get a hold of Marty Wilkerson and struggling to do so. Adoy with the help defense. But again, there's Lemley with the offensive glass. Quickly up ahead to Walter. and a terrible pass looking for Rashad Alexander, and that just slipped out of his hands, and Alexander,
Well,
or I should say Walter's unhappy with himself.
yeah, well, he knew what he knew was that window of opportunity to get that to Rashad was closing really fast, and instead of coming down and squaring up to make the pass, he had to force it and a little too strong.
Across the timeline, Shields picked up now by Adoy. Boy, he'll steal that ball. He's got 19 steals on the year. Third leading stealer or theft magnet on the team. Tried to block that one, did Price, and it rattles over and in. Lead back to 9. Nice bucket.
Marty Wilkerson. You can say that guy knows what he's doing.
Right over the 6'6" junior. Gentry fighting for the rebound, unable to come away with it. Here comes Wilkerson across the timeline. Picked up by Gentry. Works it over to, well, sends Trey Jones out. Looking for inside for Vieira. Now left side, it's Trey Jones. Pulls it back out. 12 on the shot clock. Reset the right side to Marty Wilkerson. High screen pick to Vieira. Vieira gets the ball. 12-footer from the corner. No good. Loose ball. Gentry. Wide base. Clears the ball. Brings it back up the court. Alexander looking for Price. Got Price. Double team. Quick spin and turn. Doesn't get the friendly roll, but I like the shot, Don. Good square up shot from Marcus Price. Didn't hesitate.
And that will fall
in time.
60% of the time.
Absolutely.
He's a great shooter. He's got a nice touch on the ball. It will come for him.
He's got 5. Watch the whistle. And Walter just rejects it. Return to sender. Rashad in transition. Gets the body. Doesn't get the foul, but gets the bucket. Was looking for the extra love from the ref with Vieira in the vicinity, and now a whistle at the other end. But what a play by Alexander.
Well, the refs at least were balancing that out. Walter probably got a little bit as much arm as he did ball on the last block, and that was a good no call. I thought it was a great no call by the ref. And again, a little extra body on the defense in that layup from Rashad. But the refs kind of evened that out, I believe, in their mind at least.
They'll send Trey Jones to the line to shoot a couple. Trying to extend the lead back to 9. First free throw is no good. Off the back of the rim. Trey Jones, Southwestern Christian College transfer. Second free throw. Again off the back of the rim, but there's an offensive board from, I believe that was Wilkerson.
No.
Oh, check that. That was another play. Wilkerson with the ball now.
Richard Shields.
Wilkerson from 3, from the corner. Good. He's back on track. Walter just has to walk down the court and respect the shot.
Well, that's what he does. He'll just pull up on you, and he's not afraid to shoot
Walter
with you in his
body
face.
control up and in. I just love his
neither
patience.
Is Jonathan Walter. He does it a little closer.
It's just like a stroll in the park. Okay, got a rebound. Okay, pump it, get out of my way. All right, clear my shoulders, set him up, and bucket. Cool under pressure. Another big ball, long ball over the top of the backboard and out of bounds.
Well, that looked like
Marty
Wilkerson forced that shot a little bit. He waited a little too long to release it. His mechanics is, it looks like he's got nice timing. It's a very timed shot. So at the top of his, at the apex of his leap, he releases. Well, he waited just a little too long, and normally the ball will fall short when you do that.
Guidry back in the game. Where's number 24, the senior guard? Over now to Swearingen. Feemster, who was at SAGU, transferred to Ranger, then came back to SAGU to finish out his career. Gets that rebound. A ball that bounced on the ground. Inside, tipped, deflected, looking for Walter, tipped away. by one of the guards, and here come the Cavaliers. Up by 8 and a whistle in transition. That'll be called against the Lions. That is their third foul. It's on Guidry. Second foul for Tyler. Josh Williams. And the Cavaliers turn the ball right back over, John. The Lions just look, I don't want to use the word lethargic. They just don't look like they're on all 4 cylinders. Like there's just something, there's not a complete effort happening here. Not complete execution we're used to seeing. Feimster can change that with a 3 ball. And there it is again, just a little bit off. Getting good looks, but nothing dropping. Too much consistency from downtown. Here's Wilkerson. Averages 25 a game, shadowed by Guidry. Boy, quick move, rolls right, passes over to Williams. Tipped out of bounds. Walter touched it, and then it went and touched Cavalier player, and it gives the ball back to the Lions. Heads up play defensively by Walter.
Well, it's not as much them being lethargic. I think they're bringing energy to the court and playing hard. Things are just not falling their way, and that's not necessarily just because they're flat. Just look at the court. The Cavaliers are playing excellent defense. Excellent defense.
Walter go to the line on that slash through. Feimster able to find a cutting Jonathan Walter.
Well, Coach Donnie Boswick spoke so highly of the St. Greg's coach, and said that he would have his team prepared for tonight's battle, and that is definitely proven to be true.
Free throw's good from Walter. Lead back to 7. Lead was 10 at half, 14 momentarily off the 4-point play out of the break from Vieira. And Walter looking to cut it to 6. Does so. He's got 13, now 14 points in the night. Gentry set to come in at the next break. I should say Jason Gentry, that is. Micah yet to see game action tonight. Marcarius looked good, but it looked good coming off, didn't it? Good rotation, gets his own rebound. Tries an 8-foot floater, no good, loose ball. It's Mitchell on up ahead to Josh Swearingen. Slides through the defense in Rambo-esque form. Lays it up and in, but no, a travel is called. Wave off the basket.
I saw that, and I was wondering, we couldn't hear the whistle actually go off, but I was wondering if he got away with the travel, and maybe they were going to call the foul. Saw the ref waved it off.
Wilkerson working on Guidry. Use the screen to clear space. Now double teamed by Swearingen, and he's going to get called for another foul. It's 2 within about 20 seconds.
Josh Swearinger, he's a nice athlete, and can be a spark plug for this team. But I have to say, I think he wins the most look-alike contest on the team for Reggie Theus.
I can do that. Mitchell looking for Feimster, big country. 5-footer from Guidry, and he gets the good easy roll.
And the Lions are just working themselves back. It's being patient and not panicking. A lot of teams, especially young teams, can panic when they're 10 points down.
Right.
But this team has got a good mix of veterans to young players, and they're no stranger to being down, but they are a stranger to losing games that they've been down in. And rest assured that Coach Boss will get them back in the game.
Rashard Alexander up ahead in transition to Guidry. Up and under, no good, no whistle, but Mitchell with the putback, and they're going to wave it off. I should say a foul is not called. They're going to call a foul on Mitchell, pushing off underneath. That's his first foul. A chance to cut the lead to 3. Instead, it remains at 4 with under 11 minutes remaining, 10:52 and counting. Here comes Wilkerson crossing the timeline, looking to extend the lead. The Cavaliers. And here comes that fully extended 5. Man on man, you talked about, John. And it's on Guidry to stop Wilkerson. And he does right there. Weak side rebound. Feimster said it's off of the Cavalier player, and it is going to be off of Aaron Mazabuco. Get the ball back to the Lions. And you got to like how the Lions are just hanging around, like you said. There's too much character in this team for them to give up early.
Oh, they're not going to give up.
They're not going anywhere. Gentry looked at the 3. Back over to Richard. He's got 5 points. Gentry works it around to Richard again. Guidry back to Gentry. Skip pass over to Alexander for 3. In and out. And what a play, beginning with Mitchell. Tipped it over to Feimster, who got in a battle with Aaron Mazabuco, and he stepped out of bounds. So what a heads-up play by everybody and nobody at the same time, and that results in a turnover. I guess I should say an out-of-bounds possession back to the Lions. And Adoy will now check into the game, and he'll inbound the ball on a set play. Marcus Price also back in the game for the Lions. Alexander out of Chicago, Illinois, a 5'10 junior. Skips over to Gentry from 3, looks good. Boy, that looked good. Why didn't that go in? Marcus Price, no good. And where's the foul on over the back? Yeah, Gentry won that foul, and he got it. He was hammered.
Well, the Cavs hit the ball out of bounds. There was no foul called.
Well, there should have been. He was hammered by 2 players. Give me a ref jersey. I'll call it.
I'm sure you will. There was a lot of hard work being done by both squads down there.
Nice inside pass to Walter. Patient look. Too strong, though. But weak side rebound.
Adoy is working hard.
Boy, Adoy's got no points. Really struggling, working hard, but no points yet. How about the play from from Jason Gentry here in transition? Marcus over to Walter, and a charge called against Marcus Price, negating an outstanding play at the back end from Jason Gentry. That's Price's 3rd foul on the game. Here it is again. And the defender was set. Good call by the referee. Good call in transition. Defender got back. Marcus Price couldn't slow down. Picked up number 3 as far as fouls go.
Well, this St. Greg's team really knows how to play defense.
And that's what you talked about earlier, right there. Able to adjust in midair, to adjust from going underneath to on the other side.
That's right.
Gets the friendly roll, and you work on that. That doesn't just happen. You practice that.
That's right.
In pickup games.
You do have to have a little bit of natural ability, but you're right. You work on that. And
there's Marcus Price doing some of the same himself, going on the other side.
And that's next level play, and that's how you get your education paid for.
Shields looking inside.
Great
nice
pass.
Skip pass over and up and in. Dylan Lemley. Credit Richard Shields for making that happen.
Well, I tell you what, I credit great coaching. John Martin has his team ready to play tonight, and I can only assume that it's only going to get better for them as they go. They look like a team that's really developing good chemistry together, and this team, although they are inspired by Marty Wilkerson, they don't just let him be the one-man show, and that's what makes this such a good, potent team. And Coach Boswick said, "Hey, look, guys, we're down 6. Well, we've cut it. We're only down 6.
Yeah, that's
protect
the key word.
that, and let's not let this thing get any further out of hand. So that was a good timeout by Coach Boswick. Um, but at this point, you're starting to come to the home stretch. You've got to execute.
And a foul on Shields. As Jason Gentry was driving, that's Shields' second foul. Price will inbound. He's got Richard. Richard finds Price back inside. Power move. That's a big time. That's a man-sized move right there.
And we're going to
I don't
see
want
a
no
lot
piece
of
of that. Wow.
We're going to see a lot of that this year.
That is a strong bucket right there. That
Not only did he use his strength, but he had the finesse.
Yep.
That the ball came off so softly and perfectly. And Marcus Price is a nice player.
Love in trouble. Over to Shields. Back to Love. Into the paint. Collects, shoots hard off the glass. Gets his own rebound. Loose ball. Lemley, who else? He's a scrapper. He'll try inside. And a whistle, and he will go to the line. Dylan Lemley, the senior from Sulphur, Oklahoma, transfer from East Central University.
And you could see what Donnie Boswick was talking about earlier with us today, that these two teams really mirror each other. And that is the style of play is very aggressive. It's defensively minded, and you're just not going to get clock time on the floor if you don't commit to playing 110% while you're out there.
On both sides of the floor.
That's correct. And both of these coaches have a high demand for defense out of their ball clubs.
Lemley converts 1 of 2. He'll take a seat. Jaron Vieira, whereas number 4 had the 4-point play to begin the second half, checks back into the game for head coach John Martin. Lions down 5, under 8 remaining. Need a lot of quality possessions here if you're the Lions. Take care of the basketball. Mitchell, nice inside pass. A missed dunk from Walter and no whistle.
Well, there was none needed.
Not enough contact to warrant it. He just flat out missed the dunk. Very un-Walter-esque.
Well, it was a good, strong move. He probably just should have finessed it in, but trying to get a spark.
Vieira, no call from Walter. And a strip by Alexander. Nice play defensively from behind. He looks to break down Wilkerson, gets it inside to Walter. Pass inside over to a cutting Remington Mitchell. He'll go to the line. Love the heads-up play from the senior in the elbow, playing that high post. You said he can play all positions, John. Right there, he had the awareness of a power forward looking for some help. Found his man 40, cutting to the basket, going to the line to shoot a pair.
Well, we can't say it enough, but that's what we've grown to expect from senior leadership of John Walter.
First one's up and good for Mitchell. Mansfield High School product, just about 15, 20 minutes away. He's just a sophomore, stands 6'8". Nice high arc. Love that release. Even though he's a big man, he gets that ball way up there.
Well, he's getting much better. He's one of the most improved shooters on the team. And Remington Mitchell is a very quiet young man, but he works extra hard. I see him in the gym all the time, and he really does work on trying to increase his accuracy.
Shields spins, turns into traffic between Feimstra and Mitchell and finds a way.
Well, that's a
wheels the ball in.
Fantastic move. And he's been a difference maker in this half for St. Greg's.
Mitchell off the screen. Now slipping the screen. Walter leaves it over to Jason. And he's looking for an alley-oop to Mitchell. He does get the whistle, though. He'll go back to the line. There it is again. Walter to Mitchell.
Good hard work right there, getting open and making himself available to get that shot. And you always like to see good hard work rewarded with a bucket there.
Mitchell, 2 for 2 last time. Can he keep it up? That's just pure arc right there. That wasn't the best release, but he had just enough on it,
Well,
just enough rotation, and it just settled right in the basket.
it's a mechanic that he has found that works for him, and he's
Beautiful.
really improved just in a year.
Good smooth release. Nice rotation on the ball. High arc increases your chances of any free throw going in. And he nails 2 more, cuts the lead to 3. 6 and change remaining. Now we're starting to get a little serious here, John. Starting to clamp down the screws. Both teams looking to break out.
We are on the home stretch.
You can feel the intensity picking up even with Jason's defense.
Nope.
And look at that. Just keep your feet up, keep your hands up, and good no call. Feemster, Mitchell just maintain their ground.
That was pretty incredible that Shields was able to anticipate that ball being short, especially coming from their best shooter on the floor, and position himself to snag it.
Adoy back in for defensive purposes. Vieira with 2 in the shot clock. A big-time money shot, a fadeaway 18-footer. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Call it what it is, sweetness.
Yeah. Jaron Vieira. Now, Richard throws up a brick. Cavaliers cross the midcourt timeline. 5:20 remaining, 6-point lead. Looking to extend. Lions back into a man-to-man defense, a stretched out man, extended, like you saw that extended 5. And here is a whistle way away from the basket. On the ball, though, and it's going to be whistled against the Lions on a hold, hand check. That is the 9th foul. One more will put the Cavaliers into the double bonus, and here comes Guidry in for Walter. That's Walter's, I believe that's Walter's 3rd foul. Boy, the Cavaliers just have 4 fouls committed against them. It's going to be a while before the Lions get into the bonus, and that could come into play here next few moments. We're near the 5-minute mark. Marcus Price check back in for Mitchell. Lions down 7. Jones looking to connect again. And he does. 8-point lead. Need a good quality bucket and a good stop right here. Guidry over to Jason Gentry. Back to the senior, Guidry. Jason will take a 3. And he needed it, and he got it. Jason Guidry with a timely tray.
There's no G in quit. Jason Gentry
No, there's not.
answers with a big 3-pointer.
There's no G in quit. I got to think about that one. I know it's probably smart, but I'm
Oh,
not
it's
getting it
brilliant. Trust me.
Inside Shields with a nice move inside. Doesn't get the roll. And turnover back to the Lions.
There's the stop. There's the stop you were calling for, Rob.
Timeout on the floor. Martin wants to talk it over. The 7-year coach looking to protect a 5-point lead. He's been quiet this half is Marcarius Body.
And
Very quiet.
I kind of said that he's not the go-to guy. He provided the spark and a lift in the first half.
He's the difference in the game right now, if you think about that.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way, he's got, 13 points.
He can shoot, but they don't depend on his points by any stretch. But really, Marty Wilkerson has been a little quiet for his team. He's 11 points under his average. I know the game's not over yet, and he's the kind of guy that can hang 10, 12 on you real quick.
Yeah.
But it looks like the Lions are doing a good job at taking him out of his normal game and just not giving him the easy look. And that's what happens when you become nationally recognized and you're at the top of the charts. People start gunning for you, and he's going to have to learn how to play through that if he's going to maintain that kind of if he wants to maintain that kind of notoriety.
That's what Rambo had to do. He had to work the double teams for the last 2 years of his career and was able to do that. We'll see if Marty can do it now here with under 4 to play. His team up by 5. Need a big basket here. Rashad looking inside over to Guidry, the senior. Baseline, in trouble. Finds Gentry again for 3, short. That was a tired looking shot, but here's Emmanuel Adoy taking out the trash on a Thursday night. Emmanuel Adoy delivers for the Lions. Wow, the lead now down to 3. It's the kind of things he's been doing since he was a freshman on this campus 2.5 years ago.
Gotta love his effort, his play. Always an A plus in effort.
Adoy, A stands for A player. Originally from Africa. I don't know what that meant, just Adoy. It begins with A. The A train. I'm going to stop talking about Adoy.
All the things you have mentioned are true.
It's true.
They are true.
He's one of my favorite players. I tell you all the time off the air. I love Emmanuel Adoy.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite guys.
He is a campus favorite.
Yes.
And very easy to love.
Ooh, a near turnover. Trey Jones able to pull it back. Now 10 on the shot clock. Lions down by 3. Vieira with a high screen pick. You don't want to foul here. 4 in the shot clock. Vieira, a tough shot. And a shot clock. No, they're not going to say no shot clock violation because the shot went off the glass.
Well, no, it hit the rim.
Hit the rim. So the shot clock reset just as another player picked the ball up. It reset to 35. Therefore, another shot went off. And then that one missed. Now we're out of bounds. So a fresh 35 for the Cavaliers with 2:55 remaining. Vieira in trouble. Finds Shields. And boy, Guidry, he knows what kind of gum old Marty Wilkerson's chewing. I'll tell you that right now. He's all over him. Vieira hit a 3 from there earlier. And a whistle away from the ball. And a timeout, I should say. Timeout called by Martin. Wants to talk it over. 13 left on the shot clock. He senses this is a very big possession.
Huge possession. They run the risk of losing the lead on the next possession if they don't score here. So, and that's a very big possibility. To a team like this that's on the road, that's one thing you just don't want to give up at any point in the game. Once you've established kind of a dominant lead, you don't want to ever go backwards, and it kills the morale. It kills the intestinal fortitude to carry on. Now, I don't think St. Greg's is going to roll over and die by any stretch of the imagination, but those are just the psychological effects of losing your lead, especially when you've had pretty much the whole game.
Marty Wilkerson, guarded by Emmanuel Adoy, blows past Adoy.
Oh, my.
It's the rim, rolls in with the foul. That'll send Marty Wilkerson to the line, and there's a big-time point by a big-time player. Somehow he got that off, John.
Well, that was Jordan
through.
esque. They isolate him up top. They spread the offense and let him go to work. That's when your coach. That's when you know your team is depending on you to make this thing happen, and your coach knows who to go to. And of course, they put it in their leader's hands. And what does he do?
Gets to the line. 16 points, looking for number 17. Just one foul tonight. Looked a little flat, but it went in. Light lead is up to 6. 2:23 remaining. Every possession critical now for the Lions. Got to keep pace. The Cavaliers and get a couple of stops. Richard over to Gentry in the corner. In trouble. Dribbles out of traffic. Foul by Jaron Vieira. The body check on Guidry. That is just the 5th team foul. So no foul shots yet. 2 more to get into the bonus. Marcus Price will inbound with 2:10 remaining. Down by 6. How about a big 3 and a terrible pass at the wrong time. In transition, other way. Here comes Shields. Lead up to 8. Marcus Price threw that ball away, looking just get it back to a point guard. And now Lions are in trouble.
Well, they're not out of it. They just need not to panic.
Body check from Marty Wilkerson against Jason Gentry. That's the 6th team foul.
One more to the first bonus layer of 1-1.
Marcus Price will take a seat. Bostwick not happy. Back into the game, Emmanuel Adoy. Sets a pick for Richard, looks the other way. And does he get the roll? No, he doesn't. But he will go to the line, and more importantly, John, stop the clock.
Yeah,
Clock will stop.
the Lions are very fortunate with that call because that would have been a great no call by the ref, and no one would have thought anything about it because the defender was straight up in the air and didn't move at all.
Well, look at the sack update here. 68 apiece. OK City, USAO. And then the other way, there's Wayland Baptist putting the hurt on Texas Wesleyan. 108-16. I think you called that game, John. OK Baptist, 11-point win over Southwestern Christian. And then MacU having their way against JBU. John Brown up 16 with 9 and change left in the Sooner Athletic Conference action tonight. And Adam is now reminding us he's 2-0 in the guaranteed win pick'ems. I picked this game, so I'm picking SAGU. I gotta keep pace with Adam here. Richard free throws good.
I got my win. Wayland over Texas Wesleyan.
Rashad Alexander looking to convert number 2. He's got 6 points on the night, looking for point number 7.
Much needed free throw shot.
Back to 6, minute 45. Here comes the full court press. How about a push off? Yeah, that's what you want right there. Who is it? It's Rashad Alexander. Maybe a little acting, doesn't matter. Gets the push off. Called against Jaron Vieira, the 6'7" forward, pushes off the 5'10" junior. Easy to call it when there's such a mismatch like that on defense.
Yeah, and if he wouldn't have extended his arm, the ref would not have called that. But because he extended his arm, it was an obvious foul.
Lions down 6, need a bucket. Will it be Guidry? He's looking inside for Walter, his fellow senior, and that was Vieira denying the pass. 31 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time. You want to don't wait till it gets to the end of the shot clock.
Got to get a quick score
within 10,
here.
12 seconds here. Get a good
Not
shot
a bad
off.
shot, but a quick score.
Richard over to Jason Gentry. Back to Richard. Got away with the travel. Got away with the, no, they did call it. They whistled just a second late. Bostwick doesn't agree. Thinks he was tripped. Turnover back to the Cavaliers, a costly one. Minute 26 remaining, 6-point lead. Here comes the full court press again. And they need to start the clock. There it is. Boy, they gave them a healthy 2 seconds.
Well, that only works in the
Actually
Lions'
helps
favor.
us. Yeah, actually helped us. And just a terrible pass. Be careful! Adoy threw it right back over like it never happened. Bad pass followed by another bad pass.
Some big mistakes here in the end.
And that could be the nail in the coffin.
Oh,
Lead
no, we
back
still
up
got
to
a minute left.
8. Gentry looking for help. Adoy steps underneath. And a trip call, or a kick call, called by the refs against the Cavaliers. Keep the ball right here on this side of the court. I think it's going to send Adoy to the line, John.
Yeah, well, it's 1-1. Actually, I think that's the 10th foul, so there'll be 2 bonus shots given.
Lead is 8. You got to have these 2 and need a bunch of stops in a hurry and a bunch of missed free throws at the other end to have really any realistic chance of stealing this game. Cavaliers have been ahead virtually the entire game, and the Lions have just never been able to pull back and get their own lead and establish their home court edge. Second free throw is good, though. Cuts the lead back to 6. You know, the Lions average 82 points a game. There's a
Great
steal.
defense.
Jason Gentry puts it up and in. No whistle called.
No G in quit, my brother. No G in quit.
In a timeout, lead back to 4, 48.7. I was going to say, the Lions actually, John, average 82 points a game. They are, let's say, well under their average, 22 points under average right now. The Cavaliers average giving up 82 points a game. So, in my mind, that was an important number before the game began, 82. And right now, definitely going the side of the Cavaliers. They held Lions well under their average. Lions give up 67 points a game, I believe. They've already given up 64. So they're playing about where they play every night, in and out on the court. But credit the Cavaliers defense for keeping these young, hungry Lions at bay. Can they do it for another 45 seconds? We'll wait to see as you see Coach Martin drawing up
There
some
is
end-game
still
plans.
a lot of game left to play, a lot of strategy. There are a total of 6 timeouts left to be called, 4 of them for the team that is down, which is SAGU Lions, and 2 left to be called for the Cavaliers. So I would say by the end of this game, most of those timeouts, if not all, will be executed.
Cavaliers can move. Nearly another steal. And if we do get a steal, careful with the ball, careful. And a whistle as Walter was going up. He'll shoot a pair. John, you said it. You were right on. This game isn't over. There was about a minute 12 left. It was an 8-point lead. And Jonathan Walter could cut it to 2.
And most likely will. He's very good from the line. Very good in
Nice
clutch
shot from
situations.
free throw line as Walter cuts it to 3. In comes Marcarius Body back into the game. Dylan Lemley will take a seat. Marcarius in for offense, obviously. Here comes a big free throw. Is the lead cut to 2? It is. Perfect. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And now here comes another full court press.
Let's see if the Cavaliers learn from their last 3 mistakes. Keep the ball out of the corner.
Gets to Marcarius. And boy, how about the hustle? And another tip pass nearly picked off by
Horrible
Tyler.
pass.
Great hustle from Emmanuel Adoy to prevent a fast break layup. And now a smart play. Rashad had to stop the clock. He did foul Marty Wilkerson to put him on the line. A chance to extend the lead. But this is now anyone's ball game. 2-point lead. Plenty of time left. Like you said, there's 6 timeouts left. Bostwick is a genius in these end game situations.
Well, we got another cool pillow on the line. John Walter is not who the Cavaliers want to put on the line for SAGU, but SAGU also, they really don't want to put the leading scorer in the nation on the line.
He's got 19 now. He's inching his way up to his average of 24.5.
Well, I would say
he was slow for the first 3 quarters of this game.
Within the next minute and 30 seconds of
he
real
may have
time,
25.
He's going to at least have 21. And they're going to depend on him to go get the ball and keep that ball in his hands, because SAGU really is going to need to foul, considering they don't tie it up. SAGU is really going to need to keep committing fouls to give themselves an opportunity to get the ball back. 216
wins, and many of those have come through some pretty astute last-minute coaching. Just against 45 losses, one of the top statistical leaders as far as winning percentage in the entire NAIA is Donnie Bostwick, as he sends his troops back out into the court, down by 2. Marty Wilkerson, top player, one of the top players in the NAIA, on the line. Can he answer Walter's 2 free throws with 2 free throws of his own? Into the game for the Lions, Adoy for rebounding. Of course, Walter, Jason Gentry, the senior Tyler Guidry, and the newcomer, Rashard Alexander. The first free throw is good by Marty.
As the late
Wilkerson.
Stuart Scott would say, he's cool as the other side of the pillow.
Wilkerson, 20 points on the night, looking for point number 21. Extends the lead to 4, does just that. Walter quickly looking for help, gets it into Jason. 33 seconds remaining, across the timeline. Got to move quick. Gentry over to Jason, off the left hand, up and in, off the left glass, and a timeout called by Jason. And they get those 2 free throws right back, John. So that really negates the 2 free throws. You lose another 10 seconds. You're down to 26 exactly seconds remaining. Both teams now left with 2 timeouts. If you're Coach Bostwick, what do you say? If you're over there in Martin, what do you tell your troops?
Well, Coach Bostwick is going to, first of all, uh, instill the belief that they can still win this game. That's number one. They gotta believe they're still in this and they can win this game. Let's just do the right things. That was a great example of doing the right thing. They didn't rush a shot. They were aggressive. There was 3 passes made, and it came to the right guy who was open. So when you're playing a helter-skelter type defense, Coach Boswick understands that that's going to spread it out, leave passing lanes, and those passing lanes will
Present
reveal themselves.
Yes, they present themselves.
And I would assume that Coach Martin is counter-attacking that by shut down those passing lanes.
Well, we're about to find out which of those coaches going to get his team to execute the best.
Two great coaches going head-to-head right here.
Absolutely.
No stranger to winning close ball games on either side, and they're both proven winners. This is, I told you right from the beginning, this is going to be a nail-biter right down to the end.
Here we go, inbound to Vieira. Over to Jones, on up ahead to Marty, and a whistle. And a foul called against the Lions will stop the clock with 23.2 seconds remaining. Good play by the Lions, about 2.5, 3 seconds eclipsed off the game clock. And it's going to be Trey Jones at the line. Trey Jones, the senior from Sherman, Texas, drains the first one.
And you cannot beat clutch free throw shooting. That's one of the weak links in the SAGU
Could be
chain.
short. It is short. It looks short coming off. Walter now's got to hurry. Be patient. 19 remaining. Spins. Dishes over to Jason. Richard Alexander for 3. No good. High rebound. Battled by Adoy. And picked up by Guidry. You got a chance. Jason in trouble. Looking for answers. And a timeout called by Donnie Bostwick, yelling in the ear of the official. Timeout with 7.4 remaining. Down by 3. You got a chance to get a good look. You got a chance to tie this thing up, John.
Yeah, you do. They had a chance there. I think that was a good shot by Rashad Alexander. This is when boys become men.
Right here.
And
can you draw up a play, get a man open for just that window, and let him drain it?
Well, but the player themselves have to find it within to focus and make it happen. Coach Bostwick, no doubt, can draw up the play, but do these young men have it within them to focus and make this happen?
I know 2 guys who do right now. Jonathan Walter can knock down the shot. Tyler Guidry can flat out knock down the shot. And also a 3rd guy in, Caleb Feimster. He's had some big-time shots on this very court before. Look for Bostwick to draw up a play. It's got to be a 3-pointer, I would assume with 7 seconds left, for Feimster, Guidry, or Walter with an option of Jason Gentry if none of those guys are open. I don't expect you'll see Alexander take up the shot, but it very well could be. Let's see who's in the game. Guidry and Walter.
Well, I think they're going
to 2 options.
They're going to look for Gentry coming over the top for a look at the 3 first.
Here we go.
Make a quick pass.
Guidry gets it over. It tips off the head of Marty Wilkerson, and they were actually looking for Richard Alexander. Now there's 2.9 left, and the Lions will call their last timeout. You were right, they used all 4 of them. All 4 are now gone. 2.9 left. Is there a big difference in the setup play you do when there's 7 seconds versus 2.9? Do you have to shorten up the pass? You shorten up one of the picks? What do you do differently here?
Well, I think with 2.9 seconds left, you don't have a big window. That window is very small. So this is picket fence time. So you set up a fence. They're probably going to ask Rashard.
2 screens?
One big screen. It's going to be a massive screen. And he'll probably start low on the block and come off the top elbow, release right there where the ball's going to be thrown in, and just give it a good look.
If you're the Cavaliers and your head coach John Martin, do you tell them to defend the 3 and deny it, or do you let them have it? Because you could get called for a ticky-tack foul.
Well,
We saw it happen over here earlier in the,
well, there's
beginning of the second half.
one reason I'm not down there and I'm up here is because I would probably make the wrong call. But in my mind, as a player, as a former player, what I would want to do is foul immediately.
Before the shot.
Well, yeah, foul before he gets the shot off. But because you're
Here we
in
go.
double bonus, even if they make two, you get the ball in control and throw it long. Just get a hand on it. Let the time tick off.
Another timeout. They wanted to see the defensive setup, or I should say offensive setup. And now the Cavaliers call their
Yeah,
timeout. They have one left.
yeah,
They wanted to see what the setup was for the Lions.
Yeah, and I would be pretty certain that they're going to do this same routine again. They want to see what it looks like one more time. And if he's not feeling real comfortable with that, he'll get a quick timeout. He's going to tell the ref, quick timeout here. Listen for me, and I just don't see how you put the ball back in your own hands and control your own destiny if you foul, on the inbounds play. So let them have two shots. You're up 3.
Gentry will inbound from the near side, near the corner. Got a stack in the high post and two guards in the low post. Let's see what happens. What have they drawn up? No timeout being called. Of course, Gentry can't move. Here we go, folks.
See, Rashad picket fence. Rashad, great denial.
Guidry needs to get a quick shot off and runs out of time, never gets a shot off, and the game ends on a busted play, and the Lions drop a big one.
The game ends on great defense. That was
Credit
great denying defense. They knew it was coming to Rashad. The coach called the timeout, saw the setup, said, okay, this is old picket fence. This is old school. Everything's obvious right here. They're going to go to who they think their shooter is. They revealed who they thought their shooter. SAGU revealed who they thought their shooter was in the previous play,
right?
Because they ran that for Rashad Alexander over in the corner, and that was obvious. So now the coach sees that. He goes, well, they're going to try to. This is the guy they want to take the shot.
Final score: 67-64. Lions held to 18 points under their average. And a tough loss here at home. Walter finishes with 5. I should say he finished with 18, and Guidry finishes with 5. Marcus Price had 9, and the other 2 starters on the game had 7. That would be Rashad Alexander and Gentry. And 21 points, a few points below his average, is Marcus Wilkerson. Here's your game stats. The latest we have it. There's your final score: 67-64. Field goal percentage: 38. For the Cavaliers, 36 for the Lions, 42% from three-point land for the Cavaliers. And you see some team fouls there, pretty close, 6 differential, 3 to 4 in blocks. Steals, fairly close.
Nothing is extremely lopsided in how the game, and that speaks to that mirroring between these two teams.
That Boswick talked about.
This was high-energy game. We knew it was going to come down to kind of a last-second, last-shot effort, and I had just biasedly, I guess, predicted that SAGU would be on the winning side of that.
I missed this one. I'm 1-1.
But
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Adam's got a 2-0 lead on us. What is the deal?
It won't last.
All right.
It won't last.
Well,
but congratulations.
Congratulations to the St. Gregory's Cavaliers on a big win on the road. They improved to 2-1 in conference play, and 6-5 overall. Our next broadcast is against John Brown on January 17th, 1 o'clock women, 3 o'clock men. Be sure to catch that. That's always a tough rivalry, tough matchup, as John, you have described, and they will come ready to play for sure on that night. Well,
guaranteed.
Final score again, 67-64. Lions drop it. Drop the game 1 as well with the ladies. And tough night, but we'll be back in full force next time. We'll have a full crowd as well. School will be back in session. And we'll catch next time. On behalf of my partner, John Cookman, Adam Ferguson, our amazing student crew, this is Rob Price saying thanks for watching this edition of the SAGU Sports Network. Final score again, Lions 67, Cavaliers 67, Lions 64. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace.